This is Snakes and Otters, a pointless discussion of eternal questions. Get ready. We're about to live in your head rent-free.
Hello, Otterites.
I am Martin.
And I'm Robert.
I'm Francis.
And I'm Andre.
And we got Mick Williams in the studio here with us again. Thanks, Mick, for sticking around. And
Thank you.
You said me, Mick?
yeah, that's right. We had a great last episode. If you were here, we talked all about writing and all about Mick's career and all that good stuff.
And a bunch of other things.
And a bunch of other things, as usual. We tend to go off. But we're going to do Code of Honor this time here. So this is...
Before we start, though, something I neglected to mention last episode. Mick, be sure to put this on all your social media channels.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully, we can drive some business to your books. And
Yeah, we need to
you
put some
probably
stuff
have
up
more
on the website.
You probably have more fans than we do, so you might drive traffic to us. But
Yeah, and we're here again at Studio F. But we didn't mention last episode, we got two guys that are AWOL. Actually, they're with.
That's
gone,
true, yes.
They're gone with leave.
we
both of them.
didn't make excuses for Cajun and the Imperator.
That's right. They are both elsewhere.
Well, it's been, I think, August since either one of them has been on the show.
Oh, good.
No, it's been since September. It was August that we recorded
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
All right.
Because they've been so busy.
But they will be back, so just a question of when that is. So you can wait for that with bated breath. But for now, it's just the five of us here, and we're going to talk Code of Honor quotations. And I have pulled a Robert. Unfortunately, I guess or fortunately, as the case may be.
I'm very proud of you for doing this last minute.
Well, I appreciate that because usually we have these quotations picked. I mean, we've even gone so far as to send them ahead of each other.
I have never done that, Mick. I prefer to spring it on them.
I don't like that. I never have been big on that. I think
There's a certain value in seeing all of us think on our feet about these things.
Exactly.
And I think we're all robust enough intellects that we can handle whatever we're going to throw with us because it's, I know.
Our bullshit shovels are well worn.
Very
Exactly.
good. That dang on, he cuts right through the Felgenkarp every single time. But you're exactly right. So we got a quotation. We're going to do one quotation. I've got this one here. I've been saving. Pinterest is my friend, by the way. And the more quotations you look up, the more you find. So I've got a thing where I'll save those, and I actually have a lot more of them. It started out with Voltaire. Because, Voltaire's kind of my guy. And a lot of those quotes were him. And I just kept adding into it. Now I've got, several hundred of them in here, which is kind of like a weird thing to. That's why it took me so long, because I knew I was going to go to the well. Damn, the well was deep. So I had to slip through that to figure out what it is that we're going to talk about. But we're going to do a quotation from somebody we've never done. But somebody I admire tremendously. And I hope that you all, too. And we'll talk maybe a little bit about that as we go on.
You're doing one of my quotes?
That's a good idea. He's here all week, ladies and gentlemen. Tip your waiters and waitresses. No, Albert Schweitzer. The great humanitarian Albert Schweitzer. If you saw the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles like we did back in the day, they did a two-part episode. See, you're gonna.
No, I'm just laughing because how we tie things to reality is through Trek and Young Indiana Jones
It works,
and
baby.
Star Wars.
That's right. Whatever ship gets you into the port, right?
For those of you who don't have Wikipedia in front of you, Albert Schweitzer was a physician who went to Africa and served the poor for his entire life.
Several decades there. That's correct.
Yes, quite the humanitarian, yes.
Very much so. He is the father in many ways of modern ethics, modern medical ethics in particular.
Yeah.
He's German actually, and
Das ist sehr gut,
and he had some really difficult times being in Africa during the First World War, and he successfully managed to come out of that. Because there was, Germans were not in a high regard in the 1920s, and yet he was one of those that really came onto the world stage and wrote quite a bit after his experience. And the subject of ethics and the dignity and sanctity of life, we use that all the time. We talk about that all the time. So much of that became clearly articulated because of Schweitzer. We owe him a great debt in many, many ways.
You're just forcing me now to come up with the darkest, most horrible quote ever next time.
Of course. That's right.
Just so we know what we're getting into.
That's all right. Just...
I have to contrast Francis whenever.
Yeah, well, I'm sure you could look up some Aldous Huxley. I mean, I had a couple of his, and ooh, yeah, you talk about dark. But this is really not. But this is hopefully is a little bit of a meat for us to talk about, because it's talking about that human condition, those big things, and it's a brief quote. The first step in the evolution of ethics. Okay, first step in the evolution of ethics is the solidarity with other human beings.
Is that a quote or is that a fairy tale?
That is very good, brother. That's but that is exactly that's what it is. Yeah, the very first step, and you might even say in the civilization of ethics, in the true arrival of ethics of ethics being anything at all, starts with solidarity. Love that word. With human
It's a good
beings.
Catholic word.
Yeah.
Solidarity is the word that's tripping me up on here because if you put two people in a room, it's very easy to get three opinions.
Now, only if they're both libertarians.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's your favorite joke about libertarians, Martin?
Two libertarians are in a room and they agree about two things. Taxation is theft, and there's only one libertarian in the room.
And here we go.
Yes, that's very true. When you said solidarity, I was really liking that just because, obviously it's not just a Catholic word. In Catholic social teaching, there's solidarity and subsidiarity. Solidarity is that, you're in this with somebody. Subsidiarity is you take care of the problem at the lowest possible level. That makes sense, that is appropriate. Right. You shouldn't nationalize a problem that can be handled locally. You shouldn't localize a problem that should be handled nationally. Yeah. But I think that's an interesting starting point. I don't know that I would disagree with it in any sense.
That's the thing. It feels strictly as a starting point. It feels strictly.
Well, he does say that it's the first principle.
Yeah,
first step. Yeah.
There's almost a naivete to it.
Really?
Expand on that. I think you and I might be on the same boat.
It just feels too simple. I mean, yes. The central core of human ethics is the golden rule. I mean, that's why you can distill it down to that.
That's why it crosses all cultures and denominations and times. There's always a version of the golden rule in most. In most civilized societies.
Yes.
Civilized societies, yes.
That's correct. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Civilizations.
But there's so much more that you have to then build on that foundation to get to a system of what do our actions mean in relation to each other.
So the devil is in the details?
Your actions as they relate to others defines who you are as a person.
Right. I mean, that is the core of ethics.
I don't know. Because we are not human doings, we are human beings. I don't think
I don't think those two are contradictory to one another.
Well, what I'm saying is,
the way I
don't think
treat
you can limit it. I don't think I would limit it to just how we treat one another. There's a lot of room for exploration in that. But certainly
we got an hour. Let's go.
At least.
Well,
but I mean, ethics is an interesting thing because it's a lot of people I think get ethics and morals confused.
That's why I picked this one. I wanted to explore that.
Because ethics and morals are not the same. They are closely related, I think. Because it's hard to be immoral and ethical, and it's hard to be ethical and hard to be one without the other. The positive, you could probably be immoral and unethical very easily. But I don't know that you could be ethical and immoral or immoral and unethical or moral and unethical.
Every philosopher thinks they're exploring ethics. Even scumbags like Hegel and Marx and Rousseau, they think that's a system of ethics, and it isn't.
Well, it's an interesting point because that's a very utilitarian, especially when you get to Marx. It can be very utilitarian approach.
But it's a community focused rather than an individual focus. But ethics isn't defined by how a community treats anyone or a state treats anyone. It's defined by how we treat each other. Mm-hmm. To Schweitzer's credit, that's where he's starting. And that's, again, that is what Hegelian philosophy misses.
Hold on.
Word boner.
Yeah, very good. Yeah.
Thank you. So that's Cave in the Light. I'm bringing that back in, my new favorite book of all time.
Yes.
Arthur Herman's The Cave in the Light.
I'm hoping to get started on that very soon because I got my copy in the mail.
You especially will absolutely just be bowled over. You will love it.
I'm really looking forward. You've talked it up so much, I had to go out and get a copy.
Yeah.
We read philosophy for fun.
Is that possible?
It is actually.
It can be. It can be.
When I was going through the diaconate selection process, when I put in my initial application, at every stage, I always thought they're going to say no, thank you for applying, but no. And even during it, I always felt like somebody's going to tap me on the shoulder and say, "We meant the other so and so." And one of the things that it just I lost the thread of where I was going. Oh my God. What did you just say?
Just we read philosophy for
Yes,
fun.
that's what it is. In our home interview, they said, "What do you do for fun?" It's like, this is going to sound like I'm blowing smoke up your rear ends, but I read theology for fun. And I did. And I still do, not as much as I used to, because ministry, preaching, preparation,
yeah.
I'm living the theology.
Life goes on. Yeah,
Your eyebrows into it, yeah.
But yeah, it is, some academic topics for us tend to be fun,
yeah.
especially philosophy.
I'm really, really intrigued, Martin, with what the thread that you're moving here.
Pulling on.
Yeah, you think this is basically the beginning. To phrase it positively, this is just the beginning. But to phrase it negatively, well, what else you got for me?
Yeah, it was like, okay, well, that's a good first step, but all right, lay it on me, Schweitzer. Where are you going from here?
Did he have what? So what's the context? Where did this quote come from?
I didn't get a chance to look that up. It's one of his writings. I know.
I'm sure there must have been more. First you need this, then you need
right. Yeah, and he in Schweitzer's work, he did lay out a framework for positive human ethics. He was one of the very first.
That's very good. But again, where I always try to land and work through things and come to it as an approach is always individualistic.
Yeah,
rather than state, community.
Agreed,
group.
but this does the way this is phrased. It is individualistic. It's each of us must have solidarity with the other.
Yeah,
it is outside the concept of states or organizations or anything like that. It is human to human, one on one. That individual level done at that locus, the most interactive, shall we say, level. The one-on-one encounters.
The lowest common denominator.
Yeah, that's the principle of subsidiarity we're talking about here.
The way Josie Wales phrased it is, governments don't live together, people do.
I was wondering if we were going to get to that. That's right.
But that's a great quote, though. That's a great point. And certainly,
I do live in the 10 Bear school of diplomacy.
Yeah.
The 10 Bear?
10 Bears.
10 Bears. Yeah,
that's the
that
character that Josie talked
about. When the two of them go together, and literally they're gonna walk in and slaughter Wales' small little band, and he takes his own reputation essentially and walks out and has a conversation and makes some promises that the 10 Bears, the chief should not believe.
Well, he says, the things you've promised us, we already have.
That's right.
And Josie says, that's right. I'm not giving you anything extra. We're just not going to kill each other.
Yeah, you give me life, and I'm giving you life.
Yeah, we're not. We're just going to live together and not kill each other. And just
and 10 Bears says
get along.
Yeah, and 10 Bears says it's sad that governments are chiefed by the double tongues.
Yeah,
because that.
Ooh.
We could probably have done a whole episode. Just
it's interesting. That's very similar to a scene in. So I'm watching Hell on Wheels. If you guys
love that show,
you've seen it.
It's the same thing. It's revisionist.
There's a scene where they get together in the first season because they want to. It's about building. Well, not the setting is building the transcontinental railroad across the U.S. and there are Indians in the way because back then the Indians were always in the way, and they're having this conversation with the chief of this Cheyenne band, and that was basically that same conversation. Why would I want any of the things you offer? I already have everything I want and need.
Yeah.
And why would I, what I see is this ugly, nasty setup that you have going here. But yeah, that's a great, it's a great point though.
It's very interesting that an American at that time automatically presumes the capitalistic approach will always be victorious. And the Indian says, no, we don't buy into that. We don't care about any of that, which kind of goes back to that cultural difference that still stands.
And I think
rabbit hole a little bit, but
I don't think that's. I think it's a valid concern because I think this can play on what you're talking about, Martin. Cultural concerns can turn the definition of ethics on its head.
Ooh, now that's an interesting approach. But you're exactly right. It is. Speaking of, if you define ethics as a agreed upon system that we are as a society going to abide by, then absolutely that's true.
I don't think that's ethics.
But
I think that's too structured.
well, I mean that's
Seeking the common good for the other.
yeah. But ethics is a system, whereas morality is a judgment. I mean,
Right, because
morality-
I call them morality principles.
I mean, people
yeah.
call all kinds of things ethics
That's where I'm. That's where
that
I'm
are
gonna get
not
to.
ethical.
That's right. That's where I'm going to get to.
Again, when you talk about cultural differences, I mean, there are cultures where women are nothing.
Yeah.
And zero.
Yeah,
And
in the Muslim country, you can be stoned if your husband says so.
Yeah. Certain ones, not every single one.
That is
It's
correct.
not-
Yeah. yeah.
Uh,
But I mean,
strict observers of Sharia law. Let's say it that way. Yeah, because many of the Muslim countries, Arab countries, which are not always the same thing, but mostly are very, very. I hate to say the word westernized, but there is a understanding.
right.
They
so,
would
I
they
mean,
would
that's-
bristle at that. I
That's
don't want to.
the key thing to remember about, in a very general sense, a structure of ethics doesn't necessarily mean it's for everybody's benefit. In Western culture, we do attach that context to that word,
Yes.
ethics. That's a means of relating to others for everyone's benefit, but that's not necessarily the strictest way to view ethics.
Or, well, I think that also depends on your point of view.
Yeah, sure.
Because if you're coming at it from the a collective point of view, the individual concerns are terribly unethical.
Yeah, yeah.
Because they're automatically competitive against somebody
Well,
else.
they're not necessarily
no,
automatically
that-
competitive, but they're
but-
selfish.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, okay,
I mean,
yeah.
from the Hegelian point of view,
Here we go again.
yes, the individual desire is a selfish desire.
Yeah.
And then so you swing the pendulum to Randian ideas, and then you're at the other side, and all collective ideas are horrible.
Yeah, that's why I say the culture definitely impacts how we look at ethics. For instance, medical ethics has become a huge
Yeah.
thing, and since talking about Schweitzer, medical ethics have gotten even more complex since his time,
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Well, technology has increased, and
and technology has
things
helped.
that were inconceivable are now all of a sudden very possible.
So something that we would consider ethical, for instance, in this country, babies that are born that are even likely to die, we put an extreme amount of effort into saving the child's life, even if it's
Severe hydrocephalus.
well, anything.
Yeah, that's a good example. Yeah,
And even when they die very quickly, within hours or before you leave out, that goes against, for instance, our infant mortality rates. I discovered this years ago. I don't know how true this is across multiple nations, but at one time, at the very least, a lot of countries did not report those as live births. And so it looked like our infant, because they just didn't put the effort into it. Either because they didn't have the means, or because they realized this is not going anywhere, so we're not going to do that, because those resources could be used somewhere else.
a philosophical difference with regards to
Yes,
life.
it is a philosophical difference. It defines whether or not something in a particular instance might be considered ethical or unethical.
Yeah,
On
because
the one hand, in our society, it would be very unethical to just let a baby who was born alive die. Whereas in some countries, that's considered more merciful and more beneficial because maybe they don't have the resources, or maybe that's just the way things are.
To take it to the other end of the extreme, 95-year-old grandma who has stage 4 liver cancer,
Yes.
and we're doing CPR and bringing her back. Is that ethical? Because, what's her quality of life going to be back if you get the heart started?
well, I mean, that's legally. I will give them this. We have the ability to choose that.
If you do it ahead of time, yes. If you
correct.
have-
But I mean, the family decides, yes, we want grandma resuscitated. Is that improving her quality of life? If the baby who's born with severe genetic malformalities, and we spend 22 days putting the baby through painful procedures, and we know it's going to die anyway, is that ethical? Moral?
Well, and that is a very good
Well,
question.
I think those are two separate questions.
Yeah.
They're related, but I don't think they're exactly the same.
I will say this: I have never been one to allow either finances or mathematics to determine that. That to me is an absolutely awful determinant. We just don't have the money, so we won't do that.
Well, and
I
some might
recognize- I
consider
rec-
that an ethical
It's a
quandary.
question. It's a question. You're
Because
right.
could
To
you
me,
use
the
that
an-
money to save 5 other people?
To me, the answer is you work to save all to the best that you can. That is a particularly American approach, particularly Catholic approach. But if you believe, like Schweitzer's talking about, in the dignity and sanctity of all human life, you would. The church is pretty clear about it. There's ordinary means and extraordinary means.
Yes.
You're morally obligated to use ordinary means,
Which
You are-
basically boils down to food and water
food and water.
is a bare minimum.
Yeah, but it is somewhat relative to circumstances.
It is.
But an extraordinary means are something very different.
Yes.
And that's
And that also depends on the situation.
Right.
What the extraordinary means are.
where do
Yeah, I mean, for all of my things about individuals and determining own destinies, I'm very much in agreement with you. Very, very much. That is an individual. Do everything you can,
that's correct.
and let's not put mathematics into the equation.
That's correct. I mean,
Well-
Yeah.
a true moral approach demands that
Yeah, I mean, a true ethical approach
That's-
is yes.
as well. That's correct. Yeah.
I think we might be missing an important key part of the quotation. Could you read it again? Because I think the quote starts out saying, "A beginning is
The first step
the first step."
in the evolution
Yes.
of ethics. So it's recognizing this is meant to be the
Yeah,
beginning.
here's your foundation.
So he just took a piece of chalk and drew it on the ground. He goes, "This is our starting point."
That's right. The first step in the evolution of ethics.
Evolution, I think, might be an interesting word here, depending on its context, because that implies developing a new form or a new understanding.
Absolutely, and as a good and natural process.
Yeah.
And ethics does evolve, does it not?
Oh, certainly.
If
Yeah.
it's stagnant, it's dead.
That's right.
But should it?
Yes, it should.
Should evolve. Should change.
Ethics from the 1900s don't fit in 2025.
But certainly, certainly, there has to be a core that is immutable.
I think you're exactly right.
Word boner.
There is a. You're exactly right on that because
You're 2 today. You're really moving.
because if you're not, then then your entire foundation is sand. It's 100%
Well-
relative, and in a
we
100%.
Do not like moral relativism.
No, if in a
Relativism here.
100% morally relative scenario or circumstance
There
or
has to be-
society, everyone is ultimately doomed, and not in the natural way, but
We're so much
at
in
the
agreement on
service
this.
of
yes.
Well,
those-
ultimately,
those in power.
yeah. Well, yeah. I was going to say, ultimately, when you get to define your own morality, which, yes, I understand you do in the sense that you subscribe to these particular set of morals in that sense, but usually even those are based on somebody that's come before you.
Right.
That is a tyranny of its own, and I think we see a lot of that play out on both sides of the aisle politically quite often, but very much so when everything is relative. The only arbiter left that can impose any standard is the state, and that's where I think Martin is going to.
Yeah, you're two
He-
steps.
he's going to start twitching and have an aneurysm.
Yeah, but
Because you're 2
this
steps
is
from the gas
some-
chambers.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean,
So-
essentially.
And Mick, this is why they want me to become Catholic.
Oh, he is the most Catholic pagan I have ever met.
We are going to make him swim the Tiber.
So much in agreement with where they are.
Or we are.
Well,
Yep.
I'm in the same kind of mindset as you. But going back, I've never had a conversation this deep in such a long time.
Oh, cool.
Which is cool because it's waking me up. But if Schweitzer wrote that quote today
Uh-huh.
and he drew that line, where would that line be?
That is a very
Oh,
good,
that is a great
fantastic
insight.
question. Yeah, where is that?
'Cause
In
we have here lately.
yeah.
Where are all the ethics? They've gone.
Well, that's
they're very
correct.
blurry, at least.
Because ethics is based in truth, and truth is a moving target these days.
Well, that's
I
correct
don't
because
know what is true anymore with AI and what's going back and forth. But again, with politics, I hate to speak politics.
no, you're
With
exactly.
everything's so blurry now.
It depends on what side of the aisle you might be on.
Well, no, I think
what is true.
Well, your view of a particular issue, because I think it doesn't matter which side of the
Which I-
political aisle
yeah.
you're on,
Yeah, truth is still truth. That is correct.
but how you interpret it, whether or not you will agree that it's true.
Yeah, there's the issue.
And that's the problem, is that neither side has when you, again, we don't talk issue or people. We talk very broad sense generally, because we don't want to drive any listeners away. But in a very broad sense, nobody can agree on standards of even just how to evaluate things anymore, as to to discover what's true.
We don't know what's true because you can make stuff up and it'll look
You can
so
make stuff up.
realistic.
And
And some of it is extremely relative to what I want.
yes,
That's
and
extremely that.
my pastor rails constantly against the problem of individualism in society, which I know you're probably sitting over there starting to twitch again, Martin, but not in the sense that he thinks everything should be a Soviet collective, so much though that the individualistic view of things has distorted so much. It's
Yeah.
distorted how we go about treating one another. It has distorted our economics. It's distorted
medical treatment.
medical treatment. I mean, there's so much that is, because it's all down to
Yeah.
what I want is either true or the most important thing, no matter what else happens.
Everybody thinks they're going to make $1 million because of their online presence.
Yes.
And so you have to drive clicks. And so the way you drive clicks is to be as outlandish and outrageous as possible, even with people who you're supposed to be on the same side with.
Yes.
And you see conspiracies in everything. Everything.
Popularity does
It's
not equal truth.
crazy. It's absolutely crazy. There's no evidence, and people, they see evidence and things that are not evidence. Nobody knows how to analyze anything anymore.
So the scientific
It's
method's
like-
gone by the way.
Again, Mrs. Francis has made like leopard, or has purchased leopard skin pattern,
Leopard print.
leopard print,
Not actual leopard skin, listeners.
leopard
Maybe, maybe not.
Christmas stockings, and then also had a leopard print towel in the bathroom. That's not a conspiracy. She just likes that bottom. But I mean, there are people who are like, oh, this is, they see these
Unrelated but
Desperate-
similar things.
Causality
things,
does not equal causa.
causality.
Correlation.
Does not equal causality, and people are now putting these weird things together and making it huge conspiracies. And this is why somebody got shot. It's like, wait.
Isn't that unfortunately human? We want something to make sense.
We want it to make sense, but now the difference is, used to, if you had a goofball opinion about why something made sense, the only people who had to listen to you were your coworkers at the water cooler. Now you have a forum to put that out for all 8 billion people in the world.
And you're
Yeah,
on
it's kinda
equal
like we
footing
talked-
with experts.
It's kind of like the we talked about with publishing last episode. There's no gatekeeper on the
Yeah, and it-
stupidity.
On the one hand, that's
They're being
awesome that
fired,
there's
they
no
fired a
gatekeeper.
bunch of folks
Yeah.
that were moderators. That they now, was it 300 moderators got cut from TikTok?
Oh wow.
So now hardly anybody's watching anything that goes on TikTok.
Yeah.
And millions of people are subscribed to TikTok.
Yeah.
And the algorithm, I personally don't have anything to do with it, but the algorithm, going back to ethics, is you watch certain types of content, and the algorithm makes sure that you see more and more of that
That's right.
same content,
Yes.
to the point that you essentially don't see
Anything
the
else.
other side.
That's
So
right.
anything you're watching, and
If
you're
you're
just
watching
brainwashed.
babes in
It-
bikinis, that's all you're going to see is babes in
Yeah.
bikinis.
It creates the
It creates a false image that all babes in bikinis look like that.
Yeah,
yeah, and that's another thing.
Well,
Yeah.
that's good. I mean, we could
Yeah,
we
it's
could
an
go
echo
long
chamber
and
of
deep into the whole
conspiracies.
pornography issue and how it hijacks so many of our understandings and our approaches to the world, and so much of that the ability to objectify others has its roots, a lot of in there, but not exclusively. But yeah,
To get back to Mick's point, I think that Schweitzer's definition would have to start with defining every word in that sentence. What is our starting point?
Oh, wow.
What is our goal? What are ethics? And, what is solidarity? I'm going to use solidarity,
in the broadest
in the
sense.
broadest sense.
Yeah, which kind of leads.
Can I give you a definition of solidarity?
Please.
That I value you as much as I value me.
That sounds suspiciously like the golden rule.
Well,
Do unto others as you would have done unto you.
But it's
Or-
it's a value. Yeah, I mean you make a value judgment,
It's a
but
va-
it's an
it's a-
important value
it's a
judgment.
value-based statement.
Yeah,
Well, it's a value that that the ethics would be based on.
yeah, that your life is as valuable as my life, and that's the piece we lose today. In that we
Dare I use my phrase?
Please
here?
do. I've been waiting for it.
So there's a phrase that I love that got out of church teaching, Mick. It's the church talks about respect for the inherent dignity of the human person, and I bring that up a lot.
Yeah,
That is his key
well, yeah,
phrase.
it's
I do well. It applies. I can apply it in so many places because my take has always been when we start talking about the evils of the world or just problems in general, that's where it breaks down. Is that one-to-one respect for one another,
yeah, we
just
stop
because you are a human being. As soon as that breaks down, then
We turn on the showers. In Nuremberg.
well, I mean,
okay. Yeah, I just want to make sure because I had a different image that came to mind at first. it's like Brother Andre.
yeah, just because the guy's the CEO of a health insurance company does not mean he's not a human being.
Right. He may not be a great
also-
human being, but he's still a human being.
Means he,
Yeah, I mean he
it's
has
right.
he
Yeah.
has responsibilities as a human as well, but it's not up to us to then judge and possibly punish.
We may not take that humanity away from
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
And we are want to do that sometimes.
He just agreed that capital punishment is wrong. He just said we can't. He agreed when you said we can't take humanity away from him.
You know,
he's
I'm
he's trembling
He's
again.
backpedaling.
I'm still fine, but I've long said that if a state is uncomfortable with it and does not have capital punishment, I'm fine with that. I'm not going to argue with it.
Yes, I will grant you that.
Because
We all used to be very not necessarily pro, but I always got to feel. Don't have to. Just don't want you to. What are they talking about, Mick? There would have been a time the three of us would have been very capital punishment for a particular crime. After I became Catholic, because I'm a convert, and after he really returned to a serious practice of the faith, it would probably be a better way to put it. Would you?
It put me on track to the ordination that I went through.
Yes.
Part of that formation that helped me hear things I hadn't heard, learn things I hadn't understood, and I realized, wait a minute, it's very logical. If what Robert said as a foundational principle is true, then you cannot. If everybody has dignity and sanctity, then the concept of capital punishment is absolutely is wrong. That doesn't mean that society does not have the right to protect itself and the duty to protect itself.
Yes.
But the means that it does so is open to discussion.
right.
Right.
It is-
And the church has recognized that it could be possible, but in the modern world, it's almost impossible.
In the modern first world, in particular,
Yeah.
Yes.
it really shouldn't happen.
Yeah, like I mean,
Zombie apocalypse, yes, capital punishment is coming back.
you know, when you talk about ethical incarceration,
Absolutely. Yeah.
you know,
What does that even look like?
Yeah, like, or should people be incarcerated and separated from? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, jail is
It's necessary.
I mean, there are people that want to eliminate jail and all this and eliminate police. It's like, no, jail works.
That's right.
It may not work in the way you think it works, and they're going to come out and they're going to be a totally different person. But it does at least separate the truly dangerous from society
For at least a time.
for at least a time.
Yeah, that's a valid,
But
and that can be a
there-
valid
I
concern.
mean, but at the
incarceration
same
system is
time,
designed to protect
letting
society
the
first.
prisons go wild and let whatever happen inside because it doesn't matter because they're all scum. Now that's not ethical.
Escape
Mayor
from
of
New York.
Kingstown it does a great exploration of this idea.
Yeah.
You familiar with Mayor of Kingstown on Paramount?
I know of it.
Excellent show, Jeremy Renner. And I think you see a lot of this because what goes on in the inside also affects the outside and vice versa.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That's the only Taylor Sheridan show we've not watched, but I'm sure.
it's a Mrs. Martin favorite. She really
It is very good, yeah.
Yeah, it's well. I mean, in Taylor Sheridan, we trust. I mean,
Yeah.
Her Majesty will jump on.
So what's our time mark, Robert? think it's
34 minutes.
All right, let's
Yeah,
slide-
because my
let's-
glass is empty. So let's go ahead and do this.
Yeah.
All right. Bourbon break.
Oh yes. We all switched up this time around. Everybody, I think, is doing something different, aren't we?
Yes, I am.
All right. Yeah. What the heck did I pour? Oh, Oh, this is the old.
Why do I
style.
pour?
Yeah, sorry, we haven't had that much.
I think I've already slurred something. Yes, so
Yeah,
that's
right.
okay.
No, yeah, I opened. You, Martin, you
Yes.
opened. I had a second pour of the old Steelhouse brand, second batch from the old Steelhouse distillery.
Right.
What do you think?
It's related to the blueprint, but it's a different label, but it's the same distillery. This is just as excellent
Yeah, I'm getting
as the blueprint. I think I like the blueprint just a tiny bit more.
because you just had Blueprint last
Yeah,
time.
I just had
so
Blueprint.
you have the opportunity to compare the
Yeah.
two.
So again, it's, a little less of the fruit taste, I think, to this one, but still really creamy vanilla. Really, really good flavor, and it's like this is not wheated. This is just a high corn.
Yeah.
I think both mash bills are high corn.
Yeah, I can see
I
that's
think
probably
that's
true.
that's the thing that I'm tasting is
yeah, because they're low rye, high corn,
because there's a
sweet, and
and
they're
I'm trying to-
super good. This
Yeah.
is outstanding
there's a
stuff.
smoke to it, and it's not a smoked flavor. It's just
I think that's the little bit of rye coming
it's
through.
it's either smoke or dust or I mean I'm trying to use a
Well, I didn't have the
language
steel
here.
house, but generally when I think of either a bourbon is not spicy but hot in some way. Sometimes it comes across to me as oaky. The
Yeah.
char.
Yeah,
So I don't know if that's what you're.
I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it
Okay,
is.
yeah.
Because it's not peppery, it's not rye. It's got that.
it's a little oaky. I
I
mean,
think it's the oak is what I'm
it's
tasting.
very comfortable. It's fireplace kind of.
Back porch sipping.
No,
Cigar and bourbon kind of sipping.
I mean, it's Christmas tree. It feels very appropriate for this time of year because it does feel like you're sitting in front of the fire. The stockings are hung, the mistletoe's over the doorway. Maybe the wife's walking underneath. It's very.
I keep trying to hang
very-
some over our bed, and she always takes it down.
Fine.
Very good. Very good.
So yeah, so I love both of them. They're both outstanding, and
Well,
I
good.
need,
I'm
I need to try to get my hands on some of this. Is it
Evergreen has
really
it.
good.
Yeah, I was going to
Sure.
say Evergreen and Bardstown for sure. I've seen it there. The other local Coxes and Evergreens, you never know.
I don't
No,
see it up here.
I have seen it at Total Wine, not Total Wine, the one out by Academy.
That's Liquor Barn.
That's right. It's at Liquor Barn.
Yeah.
I-
Total Wine has an excellent variety.
They
I'm
probably have it. If anybody's got it in the city, that if you're looking for something small, obscure, that there's not huge, Total Wine's the one that I've never failed.
So
Yeah.
that's a huge endorsement. Old Steelhouse.
All right, Mick, what you drinking?
What am I drinking?
What did we pour you, man?
I think. Did you pour the?
The one with the cherry flavour.
That would be. I think the blueprint.
The blueprint.
Blueprint.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gutted that I'm not picking up the cherry because that's my favourite fruit.
Okay.
I'm still getting notes of alcohol and bourbon.
Oh, that's good.
Right.
I love
doing
that.
its
I love
job
that
then.
mix.
I'm glad your taste buds have not dulled.
I'm not dull at all. No.
Yeah.
I love the
But
mix
you-
it gutted.
But you
'cause
didn't
that's
add
so
a new
British.
ice. You're using the old ice you had previously.
I did. I didn't want to. Because the last one we were talking so much that I didn't sip enough bourbon.
I was wondering why your color was still so deep. It's because there's hardly any ice.
Hardly any ice in it, and it's cutting out just enough that it is really, really smooth.
Yeah.
Flavor wise, give me a second. I'm maybe getting some caramel.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, I
Good.
see that. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep.
Absolutely. I would agree.
Am I
with that.
evolving?
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. You're getting there. That's
Well,
right.
that's part of
Because-
developing your palate is you have someone describe it and you're like, oh, that's what I'm
I
tasting.
wish I could taste the cherry.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've got the sinus thing going on. The smell is not working that great, but I did get a hint of the cherry in the nose because I've got the blueprint as well.
Cherry is hard to pick up.
It can be, yeah.
At least for me. I know Martin can usually probably. Wild Turkey has pear.
Actually, I get the cherry pretty well most of the time,
Yeah.
and I got that in the flavor.
Gutted.
But
Yeah, it's tough.
I mean, early on when we started thinking about what we were doing, I couldn't get any of this stuff. But at the end, even though this is still watered down quite a bit, it's very creamy at the end.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
oh
true.
yeah.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My brother might even sip this
Oh my, that's
That
impressive.
is high praise.
with water, with the water.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
obviously, not
Yeah.
yet.
Whatever gets him there, get you to church on time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've not given up hope completely with him.
Well, no, you can't. I mean,
Certainly. I mean, I'm being ethical.
there you go.
That's exactly
Oh,
That's right.
well done. Well done.
Well done. Very good.
Andre, what are you drinking?
I broke open your new Blanton's
Oh,
bottle.
that's right. You did.
Oh,
That's
okay.
right. Yeah.
And it's been probably 20 years since I've had Blanton's. On the nose, it had citrus and cherries on it. On the beginning taste of it, I had some caramel and strong vanilla flavors.
Really?
And on the finish, I had a nutty walnut taste that lingered on the
Oh,
tongue.
So there's a complexity here.
Oh, of deep complexity.
Now, did you have it neat or did you have ice?
I had ice, but all the tasting notes came prior to blooming. As it's been watered down a little bit, all the flavors are there. They're much more subtle, and I'm getting a little bit more of a baking spice.
You have an excellent palate,
I was
sir,
gonna say,
because
yeah,
uh,
I can't pick any of that up.
because I mean, you know, the caramel and vanilla, that's almost always a safe bet to taste in bourbon. You know, because if you don't know anything about bourbon, you want to say, oh yeah, I can get little hints of caramel and vanilla, and almost every, oh yeah, you get that, because it's just very common. But man, you're pulling stuff out that on a Blanton's,
Walnuts. Yeah, I'm gonna be looking for that next time I have some.
yeah.
I may have to, before I leave, just have a tiny pour of that. Just,
Please,
'cause
absolutely.
I don't get jealous. I'm not the jealous kind of guy, but in a palate sense,
Yeah.
I'm being a bit jealous right now.
I mean,
I'm
he
the
can
same
pull
way.
stuff out of his rear end.
Yeah,
like-
these
great.
guys have got this, and and a lot of it's because I drink the sugar stuff. And I recognize that because when I wean myself from it, I get better at it. But
Yeah.
you learn over time that that's like you're saying, you know what you're tasting, you're remembering what you're tasting, but articulating it, that's tough.
can often be the
And-
problem. Yeah.
That's
And ever
tough.
since I had stomach surgery last year, I had to step away from carbonated beverages.
Yes.
And that has improved my palate immensely.
Yep.
Yes,
Fix it.
absolutely. That and yeah, when I stopped drinking Cokes all the time, that's when my palate started to improve.
Yeah, and I did do that. I got rid of the Coca-Colas. I mean, it's amazing.
Corn syrup is the devil.
It is, and I don't drink any of that stuff, any of those dark soft drinks. I don't drink them at all, and they taste like pencil lead to me now. It just for some
It's
reason,
amazing.
Probably one of the ingredients.
pretty close.
Once you drink them and become hooked on them, you can't go without them. But once you step away from them and go back to them, it's amazing how
It's like
strong and
they're like
cloyed.
licking a car battery.
Yeah.
I have no
can't do
desire.
it.
No desire whatsoever. I'll never.
Years
I mean,
since I've
because occasionally you're at an event. Well, that's crap. It's all they got, so I'll drink it. But it's and I come away going, bleh.
Every once in a great while, I've gone back and had some, and every time I have, it's been very, like you said, it's not. I don't get the
lackadaisical.
battery acid. I just get that cloying sweetness. That
Yeah.
also depends on whether or not you have fountain drink versus can or bottle.
Yeah, I could usually tolerate a fountain one a
Yes.
little better than a bottled one.
I
Going
can
back,
as well.
It's kind of like going back to a bad girlfriend. You know you shouldn't, but something's there.
Well, you know, every once in a while you get a hankering for something.
Yeah, that's right.
you know.
And then you remember why you broke up in the first place.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah. you just take. Hey, the image is what it is. man.
That's really good,
analogy.
Francis. You did that was good.
Boy,
That was
we're even rabbit holing in bourbon break.
Well, I think
That's usually where we do most of it.
Well, I think I told you guys that when my Mini Cooper or Mini Countryman died, I loved that car. Oh,
You did.
I loved that car. It was so sporty, so cool. Here I was driving around town, 80,000 miles, and
Only Francis would say a Mini is cool and sporty.
boom.
Have you seen the Minis?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. I loved it. And
They are cool
and
cars.
it literally blew apart. Temperature light, couldn't drive it. Nobody works on them anyway. But I finally found the people that did it. I go, well, yeah, we can get you back together, but it's about $8,000-9,000 to get
Buy a new car.
Yeah.
And the car's only worth 4,000.
Well, I mean, so literally, I had just made the last payment. If that's not just what it is,
That's
so I called her a faithless bitch. I loved her so much all those years, but she didn't love me back.
As soon as the money dries up,
That's right. Say was
well,
gone.
that old girlfriend. It's funny because when we went to England, because my wife's 6 foot tall,
oh,
and she loves minis.
Oh yeah.
And my sister-in-law had a mini at the time. I think she got rid of it now. And her first thing she wanted to do, we're going to leave everything here, sell everything, donate what we don't sell,
Yep.
and we're going to take some clothes with us and start from scratch.
Yeah.
What do you want to do? Drive a mini.
Yep.
6 foot tall. Have you seen the size of those things?
Well, get a Countryman.
The Countrymans were better. I was able to
yes.
because I'm
why not just get an MG? I mean, come on.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
I'm
real
s-
British.
I'm 6 foot tall exactly, and it was comfortable in a Countryman.
Yeah.
But I tried the smaller one. Forget it. It's not gonna work.
well, she tried it in the end,
Yeah.
and actually was okay. It was a newer mini. It wasn't. one
Yeah,
of the older models.
they were getting better with that. This was the second one I had. I leased one for a while, liked it well enough, and bought that one. And oh man, the things that we did, the places that we went, it was such a love affair.
I just see the love in your eyes.
I know. I miss her. I
overwhelming.
miss her. But damn, she was faithless.
I thought it was the
Absolutely
bourbon,
faithless.
but
Yeah,
I don't want to know what you all did in the garage.
fine-tune the engine.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yes.
All right.
Not going to say whose engine was being fine tuned, but somebody's engine
right.
was.
Robert, what are you drinking?
Yeah, that's right.
The blueprint. I
Okay.
was talking about that. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Well, it seems like
was that
most of us-
everybody?
That was almost everybody except for Andre. Yeah, was drinking that blueprint. So
Yeah. So Blanton's Blueprint or Steelhouse.
Steelhouse. That's
You
right.
and I had Steelhouse,
That's
right?
right. That's right. And you guys had blueprint. Okay,
Blueprint.
got
Yes.
it. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm still the Eagle Rare. I think is still just edging
It's the standard for a reason.
And if you want to get that, go up to the distillery in Frankfurt, and they have that on a rotating basis, and you can get it at retail instead of secondary market.
Yeah, and I think it's a $45 bottle.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That's it.
If you can find it, but like I say,
Well, at the distillery,
distillery they do. Yeah.
they'll let you know every day what the
Allocated
allocated
bottles.
bourbon is for that day.
Right.
Usually there'll be a second allocated, which is usually the Weller Reserve, but it might be something else. And the main one you can only buy once every 90 days. The secondary bottle is usually not any limit on it. I mean, you still only buy one at a time. And of course, some stuff there's no limit on it. But and if you get there and you hang out long enough, you might even get a special be released during the day. But it's a fun place to go to.
Need to check it out.
Yeah, it's in Frankfurt. It's not far.
Yeah, I mean, we went together one day. I went by myself another time, and
Andre and I have been twice now, actually. Picked up several different stuff.
Yeah.
We now have every December we go on our annual retreat over in St. Louis, and part of the retreat is we go over to the distillery and buy a bottle,
Yep.
and then we head to St. Louis.
Every St. Louis, that's right. Which we may or may not drink that particular bottle, I think.
Yeah. Well,
we
I'm,
did this year.
I'm supposed to have a bottle of Japan-only Blanton's coming.
Now, are we allowed to crack that, or is that?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
No, that's special.
All right,
Well, the plan is to when Bjorn is home,
yeah.
is to gather and crack the Little Book Chapter 9.
Okay, that's right.
Now that's be prepared because I think it's like 137 proof.
Ooh.
Oh, ow.
Yeah, the Bookers tend to be very, very high.
Yeah.
That's over my level,
Uh,
for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, you definitely want some ice in that one.
I want to
burn your nostrils. That's right. But
Yeah.
but
Straighten your
if,
toenails.
if you let it bloom, that's okay. That's right.
Yeah.
That's what it's intended
So,
for.
so be ready for that. It's supposed to be fairly sharp, but we're
looking
going
forward
to
to
enjoy that, and we're going to hear about Bjorn's conversion. I
Yeah, that's
guess.
true. That's right. Yeah, because he's
We have some questions.
he's in the process of becoming Catholic, and he and I have worked together quite a bit in that process of to do that. He's going through the process in Japan where he's at. He's been there for 2 years now.
Yeah.
2 years now. He's
August of
teaching English as a
23.
second language as part of this group that hired him to go over there and do that.
Isn't that part of the deal to live in Japan is that you have to learn the language?
They
I
do
don't
have-
know. I don't
You
know.
don't have
That's
to.
a question for him. You're right. It's,
But they do have certification. So you have a series of tests that you take, 5 tests, and you become, N3, N2 certified in Japanese. And in 2 years, he's become N2 certified. He took the other test, but the N1 test just 2 weeks ago has not gotten his results yet.
and that's the highest level, right?
Yeah, that's the highest level. That's
Impressive.
basically you're
Fluent.
maxed out in conversational Japanese.
Wow.
And your legal terms would be the only thing you wouldn't really be at.
I had to learn English to move here.
That's
Horrendous.
You don't.
right.
Your native tongue is not English.
I still haven't picked it up properly.
No,
That's
you,
right.
no. You had to learn American.
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 That's right.
You already spoke English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Never,
American.
a friend of my son's married a Japanese girl and moved over there,
Oh, wow.
and he's teaching English.
Oh wow, maybe he knows.
That's what Bjorn's done.
Yeah.
He's doing that.
In a country of 30 million, I'm sure those two have bumped into each other.
I'm sure they have.
Yeah.
He said the culture is so polite. He loves it there, and the pictures that he
Bjorn's-
sends are just incredible. But the work ethic's like off the scales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
You-
Americans have been accused of that from time to time, working too much constantly. But we put the Japanese
Yeah,
guy.
Japanese
nothing.
puts it to shame.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that goes back to the different cultural sources that formed them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Prior to the end of World War II and their defeat, how they viewed defeated enemies, for instance, was hugely different than
They
how
were
we did.
dead.
They were no longer human beings.
You
at
never
that point.
questioned authority.
And you never questioned authority. And
It's very autocratic.
yeah, and there's obviously levels of authority. So that, if you're during the war, if you're a prisoner of war, you're the absolute lowest level, and everybody has authority over you. But yeah, it's just and that obeying orders kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It filters down to what we would call culturally following the rules, and that's Americans are big on rules. Don't get
Yeah,
me
we
wrong.
are, yeah.
But we also like to break them.
Well, in Japan, you don't stand up from your desk and quit working or leave the assembly line until the boss does.
Right.
So if the boss is there till 6, 7 o'clock, you're there till 6, 7 o'clock, regardless of what your published hours are.
Right.
Yeah, Americans,
and then you
we're
go
packing
drink.
up at
Then you go drink until
4:55.
10, 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Half an hour before.
Yeah.
Yeah, salarymen, call it.
Whereas the French are the opposite. I mean, they're
Yeah, you can't get any work out of a Frenchman.
Now, I know in a lot of the
There,
continental.
there goes our French audience.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was that big. to
Oh,
begin
they're
with.
too lazy to turn on the computer and listen anyway.
I know that in a lot of the continental European countries, it's got like a 32, 35-hour work week, whereas here it's 40 to 50, depending on your job and whether or not you're
At
salaried.
least 40.
What is England
I was
standard?
about to say, I keep going back to my brother because he loved to give me a hard time.
yeah.
And I'm going to make sure he listens to this episode.
Amen.
When I first moved here, my first job was working for Lowe's.
Yeah.
And I should preface this with, in England, any job you work, regardless of what it is or where it is, if you are a full-time worker, you start off with 4 weeks vacation.
Whoa.
You start off with 4 weeks.
Wow.
Day one.
It took me 10 years to earn 4 weeks.
Precisely. I've just
Yeah.
hit 5 years in my current job and gained an extra week, and I just feel like I just got knighted.
Yeah.
So you get 4 weeks to start with.
my God.
That doesn't count bank holidays that we would have, like Independence Day and Labor Day.
right.
They have the same thing over there.
Right.
I want to say there's 5 or 6 of those.
Boxing Day.
So
And,
they get those
yeah,
2
Yeah.
on top of that 4 weeks. Then, in my brother's instance, he works for the city council, which I guess is like the state council.
Oh, yeah.
They can accrue. He doesn't get paid overtime, but if he works 2 hours over,
Yeah.
he banks that 2 hours.
Okay.
And then in
Comp time.
in 4 weeks, if he's banked 8 hours, he takes another day off.
Okay.
Comp time is a wonderful
Comp
thing.
time, yeah.
These 4 weeks
Yeah.
and his bank holidays.
Well, I mean, it's
Then after 5 years, you get another week. After
Yeah.
10 weeks, so you end up with 6 weeks.
it's to me that's reasonable. I
It
think that's
is.
very reasonable. I
American
think
work hours are insane.
Well,
we,
there's a difference between accruing holidays and taking them. Americans, I get 6 weeks, but I usually leave one on the books every year because I can't take them.
because of what you do.
Yeah.
You now do they roll over? Do you get some?
I can roll over 40 hours per week, but if I have
Or per year.
per year, if I have 50, I lose 10 hours.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. We're the same way. I mean, you can roll over. We do ours by days, although I think that's changing. You can roll over 2 weeks, 10 days. But if it's more than that, you're right. You lost it. It's gone.
Yeah, and see, and to me that, especially because you work for the church, is incredibly wrong. Now, my father-in-law, he worked for a couple of different hospitals, and he had just a massive amount of time banked, but he could purchase his vacation time. So, like, if he had
Oh,
6
that's
weeks
nice.
banked, he said, "Well, just pay me a week and take, and I won't take that off."
That makes sense.
Exactly. Because they owe you the time off, and you're going to work anyways. So you're working a free week is essentially what you're
You
doing.
earned that week.
Yeah,
It wasn't a benefit. You earned it.
exactly.
Well, yeah, exactly. And there
So if
goes-
you don't take it, you should get the money for it.
goes back to that philosophy we were talking about here, about how different cultures in different countries have different philosophies about work. And I'll give the Brits credit that they get that workers have certain rights to a certain degree and should have certain benefits.
Yeah.
In America, that is not a thing.
It's very uneven at best.
Yeah, exactly. It's not unheard of, but you're right, and it's it gets to the point now. I've come to in my 60 years of jadedness. I've come to the opinion that the company, whatever you want to, the man, whatever you want to call it, they're going to take every advantage to screw over the worker at every opportunity.
Absolutely.
Every time.
Every
Absolutely.
single time.
Now,
And
traditionally,
that was a harsh lesson for me to learn because I used to I couldn't
We
believe
keep
that.
you alive to serve this ship. So
Row well and live. Oh my gosh, he's gone into Ben-Hur. But yes, that's exactly
excellent.
It is so
Excellent.
true. That is so true. You even used a Charlton Heston accent there, which I thought was pretty accurate.
No, Jack Hawkins.
Well, oh, you did the first version as opposed to the
Yeah,
second.
you do the Jack Hawkins. Yeah.
What's typical work hour week in England?
38, 40 hours.
Okay, so it's pretty close to the
Similar.
U.S. Yeah, yeah.
You just get more time. But I think what we were going back, we were saying earlier about the state of how people are here right now. Maybe the way the country drives its people is leading to burnout.
Oh, absolutely.
yeah.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
agree
People,
completely.
people are just cracking, like the mental health crisis. I mean, England has a mental health crisis anyway. I think because there are just so many people in such a small space. And we were talking about being peoply.
Yeah.
It's hard not to be peoply in England because it's a tiny island and it's full.
Yeah.
What's the population? Something like 60 million, give or take.
I actually these days I don't know. When I was there was plenty of land. The place we lived at was a place called Stone, which is a beautiful small town on the side of a canal. You could sit by the side of the
Let's
canal.
say, but yeah, that's
Oh,
rural. That's
nice.
rural England.
It was.
It was.
Now all the green land that's at the back there is purchased for development of apartment complexes.
Oh, because you're growing. Well, it's the same here in
gotta
Fern
put
Creek
people-
where we live.
Yeah.
I mean, about if you driving out here, you probably pass 3 or 4. Every single open space is being filled because
It's either apartments or a gas station.
That's right. It's demanded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know how we got there, but we sure seem to.
Well, England's the same though, that the infrastructure is not built for it.
Right. Well, that's why Bardstown Road is a disaster out here.
Everywhere.
It's just you just can't get anywhere because we're growing faster than we expected.
Oh
to
no,
grow.
no! You said everywhere is a disaster. Go to the west end of Louisville. Traffic's not a problem because everybody's moving out of there.
Yeah. Well, nobody can afford cars because that's a very poor section. My end of town does not have a whole lot of construction like that because it's older, it's developed. Not as many people are moving into it, and that's part of the issue.
But they're
Because we have a joke: if you live in my end of town, which is the South End, what do people in the South End call people in the East End?
Mom and dad.
Mom and dad.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I mean,
right.
it's very true.
Yeah.
I
Brother Andre and I are both from there, but don't live there now.
yeah. I want to talk a little bit more about what we were just talking about with work and treatment of workers, the attitude of companies, because obviously that's something that touches all of us.
Absolutely, yeah.
And growing up in Michigan, just about every one of my uncles and aunts worked for unions. And unions, early on, I did not have a favorable view of unions, mostly because of this. The auto workers, UAW, they had a lot of strikes when I was growing up. Labor relations were not as contentious as they were in the 30s, don't get me wrong. But it was very disruptive.
Yeah.
To family life, to your income when there's a strike. And, I heard some of the horror stories, granted, because some of my uncles were just kind of guys that could they knew how far they could push and have the union protect them. I literally have an uncle, he's passed, who would clock in at his union shop and immediately leave and go drive a tow truck all day and then come back and clock out. And they couldn't fire him because the union protected him. So I heard a lot of stories like that. And to me, that's an abuse in the opposite
Well,
direction.
absolutely, that's right, yeah.
And so, but now, having been in the workforce for as long as I have been, and granted, as a white collar worker, I have it better than I would not trade that for working on a line. Maybe for the pay some of those guys get, because that's the other thing. The pay is has been pushed up quite a bit, which you can argue is a good thing or a bad thing. If you're a worker, it's a great thing.
Yeah.
If you're a car buyer, maybe not so much.
If you're a car buyer, maybe not so much. And that's the biggest difference between American-made cars and cars made other places is the amount of labor that goes into it. That's why automation was such a big thing, because it reduced union jobs, which the workers think is bad, but on the other hand, made the cars more affordable. But anyways, this dichotomy between, American employers, especially because of the Industrial Revolution, pushing ever more and more attempts at making you more productive, making you work longer for less pay, versus the union in an attempt to protect the workers has at times, not always and not all unions, don't get me wrong, has pushed it almost in the opposite extreme to be less productive and work as few hours as possible. And neither extreme is ethical to me in a
You're
broad
absolutely
sense.
right.
However, each side still believes their point of view and their goals are ethical.
Right. Everybody always feels they're on the side of the angels from their own perspective.
Oh, very well put. But you raise a very good point there, Robert. Is that not simply a question of oppositional self-interests taken to their logical extremes?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Of course, if the worker's going to try to do as least amount of work
Right.
for the most amount of money, and the company is trying to get the most amount of work for the least amount of money, and those two goals
Right,
are in opposition.
Yeah, you're pushing everything towards a generalization that if you were the factory manager, you might start off with this idea of, well, I'm going to be a great manager. I'm going to treat all my people great. And then you run into someone like
Your uncle.
Robert's uncle, and then you're like, you know what? The hell with all of them then. Because we do that. We tend to generalize our treatment and say, well, everybody like this is going to be the same.
So you talked about how we only see the bad examples.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, Schweitzer saying
News is
that,
no news.
Yeah.
solidarity, but at the same time, treat everyone as a unique individual. Don't judge that just because Robert's uncle, was cheating the system. It doesn't mean every employee is
Right.
cheating the system.
Solidarity is an interesting because, yes, you can be in solidarity with groups, but I think at a philosophical level.
Yeah.
Well, isn't solidarity by definition a group thing?
Yes, but you can also be in solidarity with individuals.
Yeah, I mean a group of one.
I think
suppose
the-
that's right.
Well, no, I mean, individually here. I mean, we have a solid immigrant. It's a small group, but each of us individually in our relationships, I think there's an understanding of solidarity as it's part of what we call the brotherhood of snakes and otters.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's a different thing than being in solidarity with groups. So I think of solidarity, the trade union in Poland.
Lech Walesa.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's where my mind always goes when I think of solidarity. But
Isn't that an amazing commentary on our age and our
Yes, yes.
experience? That's the first thing we would think of.
I think
Our
it's
children
impressive
would.
that we both knew exactly who that
Exactly.
was.
We're of
No,
the
yeah.
right. We're of the age. The world changed because of that.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons that I wrote the book I wrote, is because I was always fascinated. How the hell could this have happened? Because the world we grew up in, that was impossible. And then, boom, it
happened.
did. It happened.
It happened.
Yeah. And it's,
so ethics, because I think you can have ethics at the group level, because, well, for instance, just using prime examples out of our nation's history, how African American Black people were treated in this country and can still be treated. Obviously, slavery is much worse than anything that goes on today, and that was an almost uniform way of treating an entire group.
yeah.
Or how Native Americans were slaughtered and forced onto reservations.
And yet, those in power who did those things, if you were to raise that as an ethical problem, they would deny that.
Yes, because of the benefits that they saw out of that came of those bad behavior. What we would call bad behavior now, they didn't.
How did we get to where we are? Which, of course, is the right place.
Well, everybody
they
thinks
were.
they're in the right place.
I know,
Yeah,
but
I mean, again, everybody
Well-
thinks they're on the side of the angels.
so essentially, it took a war to change that.
Well,
and
ultimately.
100 years of defeat for that type of thinking. All right.
Well, probably. Oops, sorry. I forgot I still had the phone connected when we were expecting the Imperator to call in.
I think a good place to understand the original quote that we were discussing from Schweitzer is to look at two other quotes that I found that were highlighted from him.
Bring
The,
it on.
the first one is, the purpose of human life is to serve and to show compassion. And the will to help other people. So if you take that as his thesis,
Yeah.
Your quote begins to solidify into what he was trying to achieve.
Yeah. He's trying to push. No, I don't want that. That's
He's building
The
blocks.
greater good.
Yeah, he's building blocking it. So you start here, work your way up to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing.
And the second quote goes on to further that. It says, to do something wonderful, people may imitate it.
Well, yeah, that's his operational approach, is that by setting the example. And to be honest, the entire Christian experience from our perspective is built on that. Witness is, and I think this is human, not just in that case, witness is the most powerful force for conversion, period.
Definitely.
If enough people say, I experienced this, I saw it, and it was good, and it was true, you will reach a tipping point very quickly,
Right.
where others will
What
come
Protestants call testimony, right? Giving,
yeah, you
giving
can-
your
well,
testimony.
Testimony would be
Or
a
witness.
formal form
Yeah.
of witness, because witness, I mean, St. Francis would say,
Preach the
preach
gospel
the gospel
always.
always, and when necessary, use words. That's essentially, you're witnessing just by your life. It's testimony is just a formalization and an articulation.
Yeah.
But it is the same thing. It is saying, this has been good for me. And it can be taken to extremes. Your late night television commercials, your info commercials, they're using witness in an attempt to sell you a product.
Yeah, witness is words. People consider Mother Teresa a good person, not from the words she spoke, but the action she took in
That's correct.
caring for the poor.
That's right. And she had in all this, though, integrity is an essential quality, because if you're
Yes.
proven to be false, if you're proven to be hypocritical, it all falls apart. Witness has to be
Yes.
authentic.
Jimmy Swaggart.
Oh, absolutely. Or Jim Baker and Tammy.
Jim and
Oh Lord, Jim and Tammy. I hadn't thought of. Oh man, I hadn't thought of. Jim Baker is still around. He's trying to get his empire back. From last I heard, Tammy Faye has moved on to the pearly gates some time ago. But
The Avon lady came calling.
oh, okay.
Sorry, couldn't resist.
That's right. Well, Tammy Faye was a thing when we were growing up. I mean, they had the world that was their oyster, and then it all went away.
I don't know these people.
It's,
TV evangelist.
Okay, I know all about them.
okay, yeah. Well, in the '80s, Jim Baker and his wife Tammy Faye Baker, she wore this heavy makeup,
Heavy makeup.
and
Hence the
it became a cliche and a bit of just a joke. But then they discovered that he has these millions of dollars he's bilked from this flock, and I mean, he went to prison
For tax evasion.
where tax evasion is what they got him on, but there were ethical violations all over the place. She ended up getting out of it unscathed. She divorced him, actually, and ended up, she wrote a book about it, about how it was pretty awful. He eventually got out of prison, and I think he's still trying to recapture this. And, it's one of the,
He was a con man who used religion as his.
well, I mean, the words, to use a Martinism, scumbag would fit this guy very well.
I would go as far as calling him a douchebag, and I don't use that word lightly.
Yeah, douchebag's good. It's
Yes.
very
Yes.
descriptive.
A feminine cleansing product in the bag it came in.
Jeez,
I was
here.
going to say, when you say is witness like an algorithm?
It could be. That is a very good way of putting it, because an algorithm is a mathematical taking of
If
what
you've seen
you
the
knew,
same thing
what
enough
you've seen
times.
over and over again. Witness is to go back to that word of testimony. We give witness to how, in the Christian experience, Christ has changed our lives, for example. But you can give witness, similar to being in a courtroom. You're giving witnesses, I saw this and it affected this. And if you get enough of those that say the same thing, a large number of us will first inquire and then sign on. And it's
It's essentially why Christianity was so disruptive early on in the Roman.
well, that's right, because it
Empire.
should not have succeeded.
Because it wasn't words that caught on. It
Right.
was the actions of the early martyrs.
People saw people
that-
taking care of the poor and the widow, and
That's right. They're doing things that nobody else was
shaking-
doing.
Yeah, I mean, openly shaking the foundation of the state.
Right, and which is why they were persecuted
And
for a while.
it's like, well, these
for
are
a
weird.
while, it's
These-
still going on.
Well, I mean,
These are weirdos. We can, we got to get rid of them. They're trying to supplant all the divinities we made up.
and then Constantine realized, there's some traction here. Let's make it all part of us, and there you go. I mean, that's one of the reasons that those of us who believe, we recognize that what happened, the spread of that was inevitable because it is the good news. It's inherently, it goes back to the witness, it's inherently attractive if you explain it right.
If you live it right.
Well, that's correct.
If you
that's
live
right.
it, yeah. And again, because the actions
that is the explanation.
are more than the words.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The explanation
So
of
it fits with Schweitzer. I mean, that is the good part of the community of solidarity. Don't have solidarity with words. Have solidarity with actions.
Well, that's right. And with human beings, you're all in this together. And I think that's, I know that the idea of the commonality of humanity sometimes can be politicized as a negative thing. It's at the expense of the individual. But that's not, communism seems to be that type of approach. It's not that at all. It's a recognition of a fact that we all are. I mean, Kim Kardashian puts on her yoga pants one leg at a time, just like the rest of us.
Oh dear God, what does this podcast come to? You're citing Kim Kardashian.
He's doing that on purpose.
He did. I used that in a homily one time.
Oh dear
He's doing
God.
Believe
it
it or
on
not,
purpose.
because
You should be defrocked.
I was. Well, you know what? Some lady came up to me afterwards. She goes, "Who is this Kardashian person that you're talking about?"
Don't tell her.
Just shows you that not everybody.
I mean, it's not 100%.
That's right. Absolutely, not everybody knows who this person was.
Yeah.
Because you're right. I did it for a reaction. I want to get people to realize, just because you got uber wealth doesn't mean that you're, in the end, anything other than a human being, which was my point that I was trying to work with.
Yeah.
Well, we seem to be winding ourselves down here. Any last thoughts before we finish this bad boy up?
I was going to ask you crazy guys.
Yeah.
So going back to human beings, I think it was Roger Waters from Pink Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think he's a particularly nice person, but he says we're all just humans being.
Ooh.
So based on going back to ethics again,
Yeah.
do you think we are let loose in the world ethical and we get drawn away from that, or are we let loose in the world non-ethical and we fight it to try and be ethical?
It is a very old argument. And I can tell you this much: it does come down along the Catholic-Protestant divide. That is one of Martin Luther's big things. The Catholic Church says we are created good, and we choose evil. Martin Luther says, I don't like that. We are created evil, and grace makes us good. It has been an argument that has gone on for centuries.
I think it's a both and, in the sense that because we have a fallen nature.
That's right.
If you want to talk theology, while we are not born with personal sin, which is where the maximum potential of good is when we're young. Although every 2-year-old is an evil megalomaniac in the making.
That's
you know. You don't tell me a 2-year-old doesn't know that when they do something wrong. I mean, my dog knows when she does something wrong, right? But I think that because that lack of solidarity when we are young, because we just don't know any better. Because for the first several years of our lives,
You don't know that your actions affect others.
you don't know your actions affect others, and the entire universe revolves around you when you're very, very young.
And some people never get out of that state.
And some people never get out of that.
Therein lies
So
the problem.
I think but also, not every child, but I think most of us have probably seen in at least one or two of our children that there's such potential for actual and potential goodness.
Yes.
That children express because they are so full of love because they have not yet been taught to hate.
Oh, that which is very, very true.
And I think
Hate
that's
is
where
required
we are good comes from.
Yeah.
But
Their experiences are limited. You've never experienced someone being horrible to you.
Generally,
Generally.
Are we the
I mean,
sum
there are
of our
exceptions.
Are we the sum of our experiences?
to some degree, yes.
I think, our experiences
It's not the sum total, but
play.
it is.
You have to be able to break out of that experience. And that one of the values that I find in having these discussions with you guys is I think about things that have happened to me, and I go, okay, well, maybe they weren't trying to be horrible. Maybe it was just my perception of
Yes.
their actions.
There's always some truth to that,
You know,
because
so
every
it's like
experience is personal.
it's okay to let people off the hook. It's okay to forgive.
Well, boy, I tell you, I wish I was as good as you are on that. I have issues with that.
Forgiveness is very difficult.
You have to give as you've received. You have received forgiveness. You have to give forgiveness.
Yes.
Well,
Yes, but that and that is very much top down. Doesn't mean you have to receive forgiveness from those who have also wronged you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's yes.
It's-
You
it's
pass on
just-
what you have already
as
received.
in divine forgiveness.
When you move past what someone has done to you in the past, and it's not for their benefit; it's for your own.
Yes.
If you don't move past it, you move into Sun
eat up.
Tzu's art of war.
Yeah,
An enemy that can anger you can control you.
yeah. And you just
very
get
good. That's
you get
exactly
eat
right.
up, and you never move on, and then you don't take joy in something like what we have now in the brotherhood.
Yes.
I can't take joy from being with you all if I still harbor something about other people doing horrible things to me 35 years ago or 45
And you have just
years ago.
paraphrased scripture, because how can a man love God if he hates his neighbor?
Just move on.
That also
We were
means,
all
are we
stupid
also
kids.
some of who we hang out with?
Well, there's
Yeah.
some, there's
Yes.
some,
Yeah.
you're exactly right. I was thinking that too. Because as I think this all the time, I'm very, very pleased that my children have good friends.
Yeah.
And because that ain't a guarantee.
Yeah.
And-
Always have friends that
and
lift you up.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's 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 one of the things I didn't realize. That's what we wish for them more than anything else, is good associates. So that way you're good with that. And it also can leads back to that question, about some people never had a chance. I resist that.
Yeah. You always have a chance. You can always break.
But
The choice.
but
Right.
then again, how realistic is it for some?
The chances are so infinitesimally small
Word boner.
Yeah.
that it's hard to see that there is a chance for some people.
It can be hard. You have to have
Free will isn't absolute. We know that
a
is
s- a
true in all
certain
cases.
exposure to the ideas.
Yes, you have to. Yeah,
You have to search it out.
you have to search it out. You
have
have to
to-
understand that it's
yeah.
possible, because it starts with belief. If you don't believe things can change, then no, they
You
can't.
have to seek out belief. Yeah.
Whether you-
famous
I know what you're going to say. Go
famous
ahead.
corporate trainer, I think his name was Wes Brown, said, 5 years from today, you'll be the person you are today, except for the people you surround yourself with and the books that you read. So, yes,
Yeah.
who you
plus-
surround yourself with affects who you become.
Yeah.
And I've
That
already
was not-
contradicted my own self
Yeah.
by saying you have a choice. 'Cause some people fully don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends where you are in life.
Well, yeah.
You have no choice.
But
Well, again, I think it's like Martin says. I think it's rare that there are absolutely no choices. The question is, are they so unrealistic?
You make them.
yeah.
Yeah, can you make them
Can you
possible?
see
Work.
beyond the
Yeah.
limited choices you have in front
Yeah,
of you?
because I mean,
So
for instance-
our salvation here in this world, not eternal salvation, but our success here in this world is 100% dependent upon our will.
no, Mm-mm.
Because I would resist that.
There's too many
I
factors.
mean, yes, you sound very Nietzschean when you start talking about will,
Yeah.
but
Maybe even
yes,
absurdist.
you do have to push yourself and have a will to discover your options.
Well,
So-
so therefore, some level of will is required.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So what you started us down this particular rabbit hole
As
that I
we
wanted to get
plummeted.
back to. You asked if we are the sum of our experiences.
Yes.
And I said no. And the reason for that is this: because we are made in the image and likeness of God, hence that inherent dignity of the human
That's
person.
right. Yeah.
Means we have the ability to reason and the ability to choose. Right? We can think and we can choose. And that's where who we are comes into with the experiences. It's what we choose to believe about those experiences, and then
Yeah.
what we do with those
Right,
experiences.
because our experiences allow us to create ourselves in the choices that we make along
what we
with them.
yes, what we do with those yes, because two people can experience the exact same event and interpret them totally opposite ways.
Well, yeah.
That's also a very Nietzschean.
I was going to say the exact same thing. That's
because
Nietzsche,
the
because
truth is all about perception.
yeah, because some things break some people, where the others make them stronger.
Yeah.
It's very Nietzschean.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what we're talking about.
But
Yeah.
The same trauma, the same shared experience of trauma breaks one and ennobles another. That's the,
Yes.
What does not kill me makes me stronger.
That's right. Yeah. Thank you,
But-
Conan.
you know, the
Well, it might
concert-
also leave you crippled, just not dead. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the concentration camps of 1940s, you know, from the German point of view, were very successful. From the Jewish point of view, was an atrocity.
Yeah.
It's
I was going to say most of the world that was an atrocity.
Well, that's yeah.
Not
no,
all,
no, it
unfortunately.
was an atrocity, but from the point of view of those two perspectives.
That's what I was talking
Yeah,
about.
there were philosophical.
I didn't want there to be any disagreement that
No.
I didn't think that was
Yeah.
not an
Oh,
atrocity.
no.
There was a perverted, I'll say that, philosophy behind the concept of the Jews are the
Right.
problem. Therefore,
Right.
we will even if that on the anti-Semitism by itself was not enough, you had to put it with the Nazi approach of therefore to be strong we must eliminate them. That's the Nazi coda
Yeah.
to the anti-Semitic
Yep.
phrase.
For
And
Nazism to work, they had to have a scapegoat.
it was I don't know if it was inherent, but it certainly was
No, it was.
inevitable byproduct. Certainly,
I think almost any ideology that is a break from the past requires a scapegoat.
that's perhaps a subject for another
I think so.
discussion because we
So- You ready to kind of wrap up?
yeah. Anything
Right.
else? I want to give everybody else a chance before we finish up.
Well, again, I just want to thank Mick.
Amen. Amen.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you all. for having me,
Audience,
including
audience,
me and
please,
supporting me.
Mick Williams. Look
Mick-
on
Mick-
Amazon
MickWilliamsAuthor.com.
and
guys.
Father Black series and the what's the name of the other series is
All Farts Club.
The
the
Old
Old
Farts-
Farts Club.
That all
So get out there and get
Buy
Mick's
all of his
stuff.
books.
But
Buy all
you're-
these books
you
and
need
leave
all of
those reviews.
Yeah. Buy multiple copies. Give them away to
Hey,
friends.
friends, it's Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
So
Well, people won't hear this till the first of the year.
Heck, it's after Christmas. It's New Year.
That's right.
yeah,
Right, use those gift cards you got.
but you were terrific, Mick. Thank you for being
Thank
here.
Yeah,
you
it
very
was
much.
Thank you.
great. Great having you, Mick. Yep.
All righty. So
And then
we don't even know what we're doing next time.
you don't know what we don't know.
I thought we
Are we
were
winging it?
starting your Napoleon
Yeah, I
series.
think
Are we
so.
finally
Yeah.
going to start?
We're finally going to
Napoleon?
do Napoleon.
Okay.
That's right. We spent 3 episodes on the French Revolution and kind of brought us up to that point. Then we kind of put a pin in it and we said we'll come back to it. But so
Did
much.
we spend 3 on it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 3. I know it was at least 2. But so much of the modern Western world that we know has its roots, or certainly a lot of its pieces involved around what happened.
What happened?
in
Yeah.
a-
Congress of Vienna.
between
and
1795 to 1815, the world changed, and nobody had ever seen anything like that before, and it changed a lot of things that we now attitudes that we have today. So Napoleon is very much worth talking about. So be here next time. We're going to start that discussion.
We hope you enjoyed another pointless discussion of eternal questions. Remember, new episodes drop every second and fourth Friday at 6 a.m. Eastern, just in time for your morning commute. And every fifth Friday, we drop a special Hoopajube episode. Spread the word we are on all the major platforms, and leave us a review. That helps others find us. We're also on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, as well as our website, snakesandotters.com. Join us next time, same snake time, same otter channel.